Hey everybody, Nerdy Transformed here again, and today I have the Age of Extinction Deluxe class Snarl review. If you don't know, in Age of Extinction, they brought back the Dinobots. They were pretty feral actually, and Snarl was one of the ones that was not in the movie, alongside Slash and Slog. The only ones that were actually in the movie were Grimlock, Strafe. Crap, I can't remember their names now. But yeah, this is one of the ones that was not in the movie, yet he probably has one of the better toys. I actually noticed that the ones that are in the movie don't have all that great toys. And then ones like this, with Snarl here, he does have a pretty nice toy. Now the G1 Snarl was just like this. He was the kind of, I'm not sure what kind of dinosaur this is called, but the type that has like this big spiky plates running along the back. And you can see for this one, they kind of wanted to go for like an Energon effect with them, with this green part being the body, and then here and along the back, all the spikes and shell becoming like Energon. Kind of makes me almost wish you could roll up and just kind of roll over things like Sonic the Hedgehog. But he has a pretty good looking dino. You can see each of the spikes actually have a pretty nice amount of detail in them. A lot of detail on the legs and a bit of paint. A lot about symbol template there. A little bit purple on the top, that's for robot mode. But even though these two pieces are like don't go together, they do at least have a similar look. Kind of getting this wavy, spiked look. And the head has a nice amount of detail. Red eyes with a little bit of silver on the snout. I do like those red eyes, they look very vicious. And along the bottom, you actually can't see the robot kibble too much, other than like right here. It actually does a pretty good job of just being a nice, cohesive little dino. I think he's actually really cool looking. For comparison, we also have the Age of Extinction Strafe, who's also deluxe. Alright, here, let's give him his full wingspan. And Strafe looks much larger just due to the wingspan and the fact that he's standing on his legs. Even though he ends up being like one of the smaller dinos. Well, he's in his robot mode, but here's Slog. Another one of the ones that wasn't in the movie. And let's see. Here's the Voyager Drift. Again, robot mode. And how about the Deluxe class Hotshot slash Tracks? So you can get a good idea of how big this dino mode is. It's a pretty nice little dino mode. He does have accessories. These two bits are for robot mode as his weapons. But you can store them in his dino mode. For this piece, it's like a spiked club. You're actually going to split the tail in the back. You can actually see these two little holes here, these little tab holes. And this piece has these little two tabs on the handle. You just simply... Oh, wait, it's kind of hard to see where you exactly plug it in because of the clear plastic. It's hard to see where the actual hole is. But once you get it in, you just close these two shells back up and tab it in onto the other side. And then you just tab the top together, and there you go. You now have a complete tail. It looks pretty good, too. The only weird thing is that the spikes on it aren't Energon like the rest of the spikes, but not a big deal. This other one you gotta be a bit more careful, because this is made of clear plastic, very thin clear plastic, which could break easily. That is a worry about this figure, is that with how much clear plastic he has, he might break, but none of the clear plastic along his back or anything ever really takes any pressure. So, what you gotta do, you can actually bend it. There's actually which one go? A hinge in the middle of it. And there's gonna be a tab sticking out, which means it can only hinge this way. So just make sure you find where the tab is. You can see it sticking off slightly right there. And just bend it out to where the tab is pointing down. And what this will do is it'll form two more spikes for his back. What you gotta do is come up here and split the clear pieces just enough that you can see there's starting a gap to form. And that plug that's sticking off of this will fit right into one of those gaps. You can pretty much fit into any of them, but I find it best to tap them in here between the two of the largest spikes right here. And you can see with that, it gives them the effect of a very large spike on spikes on the very top. And it does look very cool from the front. From the side, it does look a bit ridiculous, especially since you can still see the handle. But from the front, it looks really cool. It gives him a very cool effect of like he's just like pissed and he's about to destroy something. Also, this dino mode has articulation. The leg is on like a small little hinge. It can only go this far forward and this far back. But it does have a swivel, because these will form the arms, and it does have a knee joint. So you can get some poses with his like one leg forward, one leg back for like walking poses. These up here are ball jointed, so they can go completely 360 and move all around. And just have a simple hinge, no swivel. The head actually has quite a bit of articulation. It has a slight amount of side to side. At the neck, it goes up and it has a hinge going up and down. At the head itself, it has another hinge to go up and down, so you can actually have its head kind of curled down like he's going to eat something. And of course, if he's going to eat something, he has a hinge at the mouth to open it up. Nothing in there is not like any hidden gun or anything, but you can kind of give him a look like he's going to bite something. And you can see he actually does have his teeth detailed in. So that's all very nice. Very cool little detailed figure. So for transformation, you're going to remove the weapons again. Again, this just kind of pegged on top. Split the tail, pull this piece out again. Then move all that to the side. How I like to start is grab this middle section and grab his back legs. You're kind of just going to pull them apart. They're actually tabbed in right there, so you're going to have to pull these parts down where you can see right there it's coming untabbed. And then you can see it's starting to split right there. Because the front of the dinosaur will form the legs. So grab the spikes and just pull them apart and they'll split. And the head will fold in on this hinge, which was what its side-to-side movement was. And what's cool is, in order to make this symmetrical, they actually put a fake head here. The fake head doesn't move, or it's not even like a full head. You can see it's hollow on this side. But it is a cool little detail they added, and it's fully detailed on this side to replicate the head that folds in on this side. I could see some people saying why didn't you just split the head, but it might interfere with some of the articulation they gave it, so I'm not going to blame it too much. Anyway, you're going to unfold the legs as the transformation basically makes it where his knees are completely caved in, or completely using his knees. Now these bottom parts that made the bottom of the dinosaur right behind its head will actually come out on these double hinges to form his feet and give him very pointy shoes. I noticed a lot of the Age of Extinction Dinobots have really pointy boots. You want to push it all the way forward until they're sitting as far out as possible. Dino legs I just fold up, bend them at the knee, and just kind of have them sticking off like this. You could also have him coming down to the ground to add as extra supports for his feet, but it does look a little strange having dino legs sticking off your actual legs, so I prefer just having them stick up like this. Now, for the arms, you're going to split this tail piece back here completely. You can actually see there's a tab hole and a tab on the arms. Move the arms until you can get the tab hole to match to the tab. And the tail pieces that come off will then be pegged into the arms. With that done, you can then bring them out on these double hinges, which the hinge up here is a ratchet. This one's just like a normal hinge. And you can get the arms out. And with those out of the way, you can grab this. For the dinosaur mode to fit together, it has to crunch up. You can then take what is basically where his legs are connected, his crotch piece, and it actually pegs into the back. Like that. Then take the spikes, and you just come back on a hinge. And you can spread them like this on two different hinges, which kind of gives him like an angel wing effect. His spikes actually start to look more like angel wings, especially with all the little details they have. So it's kind of interesting. To finish up the arms, you're just going to turn them to where you have inward elbows, and then you're just turn the hands. And the head, you're going to pull on this tab, and it is a very tight fit, but it will fill in the hole in the chest there and present us with its head. And there you have the robot mode for the Age of Extinction Snarl. Oh, there we go. Let's give him the camera. There he is. Alright, let's go ahead and get the comparisons out of the way. Here he is next to the Deluxe Class Strafe again. You can see now they are very much similar size, with Snarl actually being a little bit bulkier. Strafe only looks so big due to his massive wingspan, which, yeah, is quite massive for a Deluxe. So, here, let's fold up the wings a little bit. So you can get a better, closer look between the two. You can see, yeah, they're about the same size. With actually Snarl having his own little wing set. I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep seeing those as like angel wings sticking off his back or something. He really needs a repaint or something, like kind of like a dark angel or something. That'd be really cool. Let's see. Here's a Drift and Hot Shot, also from Age of Extinction line. And here's Slog. And you know what? Let's get Strafe back in here so you can kind of get that whole night aesthetic with all three of them together. Oop. If Strafe would stand, I have all his his wings completely on his back now, so it affects his balance a little bit. Okay. Slog, stand. You can see, for one thing, they all have the pointy shoe thing. I'm not sure why, but they all have pointy shoes. Perhaps we're sticking the spike of their shoe through our Decepticon's head. You can see they all have this armored, like, visor knight aesthetic to each of them, especially on the heads. And they do look really good next to each other. But let's focus on Snarl here. He has a very Insecticon color scheme to him. Maybe not Insecticon, but it actually is more like Devastator with the green and the purple, but he reminds me a lot of Waspinator from Transformers Animated. If you remember him, he had a green, purple, and like acid yellow color scheme as well. And it really does kind of feel like those colors that Waspinator had. I'm not sure why they're going in for these bright colors for the main line. I guess it's supposed to be similar to how the Fall Cybertron ones were all Skittle colored, just to appeal to kids more. Well, for the details, the legs are basically just the dino legs, just as arms. And you can kind of get this more armored look to him with little spikes coming off, which look good. He does have all this nice purple here now, which again, with this, kind of gives it that Insecticon color, especially right here on the chest. He has a little bit of silver coming off with these spikes, kind of give like a ribcage effect. Also has these right here. I'm not sure what these are. They kind of look like vents or filters or turbines or something, but they look cool. I do wish a little bit of purple and silver had gone here to kind of complete the look that has up here. There's not a lot of paint on him. A lot of the paint actually goes to the clear plastic right here on the tail and right here on where the front would be. So it does mean he loses a bit there. But the clear plastic does give him this like Energon spiky armor look. And again, you can see the heads kind of help to hide the fact that one of them is a fake head. Kind of gives the illusion that the head split even though it didn't. Really don't get why they didn't just do a split head. There's really not much reason to have a second head here. It's a nice detail, it just seems strange as all. And you can see there's details along the hip, and there are details along the feet, which again kind of give that like visor of a knight kind of look. And we're going to look at the head where he is, not to make a pun, but Snarl is snarling. He looks like he's snarling at somebody. He has like this gritted teeth. It's hard to see because his face is really small, but he kind of has his teeth grit, you know, grinding together, just like with this very angry look in his eyes, like he's just he's snarling, which is quite fitting. Funny enough, he has the most animalistic head of all of them. The others have like a more knight aesthetic head, or at least like a very, almost like a dinosaur knight look. He has more dino than knight. It still looks like an armored helmet, but less like a knight and more like an animal. It's a very interesting aesthetic. He does look very cool for it. Oh, let's get this. I don't know why my camera keeps doing that on it. Let me fix the sand. There. Now it'll stay up, hopefully. Now again, you can take the spikes that were fold it back onto a blade, and you can give him these as his weapons. He can easily hold them. I mean, you can either give him the axe blade like this, or maybe more preferably like this, so he can actually swing it. Oh, alright. His hand. He doesn't hold it easily. So you can give him that as a big axe blade, or you can give him this as a spiked club. But he does have to kind of hold it low like that. And the reason for that is they're not really meant to be used as separate weapons. You see, this one has a peg hole and this one has a peg. They're actually meant to combine together. At first, I thought you were supposed to combine them like this. Seems simple enough, give him a nice big axe. But we were actually supposed to do, if you notice, there's actually a little groove right here on the little peg hole. And that's because you're actually supposed to peg it in from the bottom like this, which is why the handle juts up like this. When you peg it in, you can actually see the blade actually slides into that little groove to let it stick up a bit further and actually lock it in like this. And then when you put it in his hands, in order to put it in his hands, you have to put it the thin part first for it to slip in, and then you move it up to kind of give more friction for him to hold the blade up. And when you do that, you can see it actually gives a very nice little axe to swing around with. It looks really good in his hand. And it really goes with the aesthetic of the clear armored clear plastic look he has everywhere. It looks really good all together. His articulation is alright. It's got a ball jointed head, which doesn't move up and down very much. It moves down, but you can also accidentally start transforming him again. And it doesn't particularly lock in place. I don't know why, but I can't get this piece that comes up to lock in place there. It's just, you just gotta be careful with it. His arms are on hinges, although the back kibble will clash. The cables hanging off the arm and the back kibble over here do tend to clash when you move them in certain ways. But you do have full hinges going this way and swivel going up and down. And you can just move the kibble out of the way if you need, as need be. You do get a swivel. You get an elbow joint, which normally it might be stuck as a bicep curl. As you can see, which all of them actually, all the Dinobots have this bicep curl thing where when you have the hand facing forward, you can only have either arm going in, or if you have the elbow going upward, you're stuck with the hand facing up. But with how he transforms, you can actually move his hand like this. The only weird thing is that it kind of means his hand's kind of jutting out from his wrist like this. Looks like he broke his wrist, which normally looks really bad, and it kind of does. But when you have his axe in his hand, you really can't tell. And it lets you use the elbow joint properly while holding the axe, which I do appreciate. He doesn't have a waist swivel, unfortunately, due to how he's pegged in. You do get ball jointed legs, but they can't go out. This is as far as outward as they go. That's as far wide as they go. They have all this extra plastic on top, keeps them from going any further. But they do have a good range forward and back. You can get a full swivel all the way around right above the knee. And you do have a really good knee because it's part of the transformation. It's just a little over 90 degrees. And due to how the feet transform, you do have feet articulation, where you can kind of get him stepping forward like he's ready to smash somebody in the face with his axe. That might take a little bit of balancing, but there you go. Oh, wait, come on. There. See, you can kind of get like a stepping motion with his legs. So all in all, he's a pretty good figure. His articulation is not the best, and he does have a few issues, especially with his arms and his head locking in, and the back kibble. But I think he looks really cool. With the right repaint, I think it's a figure anybody would want, and overall I think he's just a really nice deluxe. The Age of Extinction line was really weird for me, with not a lot of figures I was too interested in. But after seeing some, and even some of the Dinobots don't interest me, like Slash and Grimlock, or at least the Voyager Grimlock. But these deluxes seem to be coming out really excellent. I have Strafe, and I really like Strafe, and I've heard great things about the other two, so I may have to pick them up to complete them. So yeah, this is a really cool deluxe. He's a really nice dino, and he just works for me because, well, I like robots, I like dinosaurs, and I like knights, and this hits all three for me. So for me, it's a must-have. For you, I don't know, but hopefully this review will help you decide if he's a must-have for you or not. Anyway, I'm Nerdy Transformed. This has been the Deluxe Class Age of Extinction Snarl, and I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you take care.